All right, back we go. Another video. November 23rd. Let's check out more of these crypto ETFs. BITO, and I'm going to do BITX. Uh, BITO, ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. Let's take a look at it here. This has been around since 2021. It was up near 45. You can see the drop on this daily chart, all the way down. It was bouncing, but 10. And then we made its way in late 22, 23, get a 15. Put in some lines here. Went all the way up to 18, all the way near 34, and then you had another drop. And then it was holding this range pretty much 16 to 26. You can see this back and forth action. Now the highs were getting lower each time. You notice that even from all the way here, it's been dropping since 22. This has at least BITO. And then it broke this support just under 17. So, the latest big move was at 23, tried to bounce. You can see this big broadening wedge. Here's the high, low line. 21, you bounce to 19, but look at these bounces. They're not that big and they're getting crushed after that. And then you're at 1326 right now. So this is way down there. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. I mean, could you go back to 10? You're right there at this point. Weekly getting smoked. Monthly. Now here's the monthly. You look at this, the climb up from 23 into 24. You had 90, 69 stochastics. Then it went lower. Then we tried to bounce way lower. Bounce again. Even that, look at that, it's lower. Now you're going down deeper. It hasn't crossed over the monthly. To me, this tells me it's going to dive deeper at this point. I would look for 10, and then we'll see what happens in that, maybe even lower. Quarterly's trying to draw lines now because it's so new, but this is pointing down. So any bounce up though, I would look for this trend line 14, maybe 15. If you get a big rally, this could go all the way up to 18, 19, big counter rally. We've seen that before, but the whole trend is still down. That would still be bearish. People don't believe that, but if your whole moves down and then you just break down from there, it's still bearish. All right, that's BITO. Here's BITX, which is 2 times leveraged. Let's take a look at this one. This was back in 23, went to 10, back to 60 in the 2024. Then this came all the way down. Look at this, month after month into October. Went to below 20 and this changed. Then it goes all the way up to 70. Big pullback to 30. Then we go up close to that again. It went to 65, 69. So the high in this too, it's making these moves. Like a big head and shoulder. Look at this. Head, shoulder, shoulders right here, and then it collapsed longer term. So the 65 could never hold. And then basically from October, you tried to bounce and went down again. And 55 to 28, 25, very oversold here. Any move back up, look for 34, 36 maybe in this trend line. Weekly chart. Weekly chart you see here. July, August, low. Then you bounce one higher. And then right here is that April low with everything in the market was, at its low point, 29.34. That was a good time to buy, went up. Now, we're bouncing, but low. See this, the bounces, and now you're at 723. I would look for this right here, of course, right at 25, pretty close. And that April low, which would be 1895, right in here. That I would see a tremendous bounce effort right on them levels. Monthly chart doesn't have much to go on, but crossed up, back down, cross up. Now you're back down again. It's breaking all support back from 23. You can see the line. Monthly doesn't show much. So in all these, the charts I'm doing right now, these Bitcoin, they're all blown out. And you're looking for bounces to play. If you're playing long bounces, that doesn't mean you're just going straight back up. And then you see what these bounces do. They break trend line, what's going to happen. Or they coming back up the trend line, or are they going to break support and go back down again? So that's what we're going to look for this week. And Bitcoin, right now, it's 87,559 Bitcoin. Having a small bounce from, I think it was what, 80,000. So that's where we're at right now. So this is BITX, BITO getting crushed. Now, longer term, it's hard to say. Maybe probably in the next year, these will get a full bounce and you'll start to make its move back up again. I believe that'll happen. So we'll see if it does happen. All right, that's it. Please subscribe to Mike Cayman Trades on YouTube. Smash the like button. That is it for now. Peace.